Welcome, welcome. I'm Heather Zimmerman, multidimensional soul facilitator and founder of Divine Ascension Company. Today we're talking about the 5-5 portal, what it actually is, what the energy is doing right now, how long this window is going to be open, and most importantly, what you can do to work with it rather than just be carried by it. I'm going to start with some grounding context, then I'm going to drop into channel and bring through what wants to come through for the collective right now. So settle in and let's get started. So what is the 5-5 portal actually? Well, energy portals are windows. They're dates and periods of time when the energetic conditions align in a way that makes certain kinds of work more accessible for you. They're not magical shortcuts. They're not days when the universe hands you things that you haven't already positioned yourself to receive. They are windows of heightened access, amplified intention, and accelerated movement. So this 5-5 portal, which falls on May 5th every year, which is today, it's energy that comes from the numerical power of the number 5 doubled. That means it's amplified, it's compounded, it's tuned all the way up. And so in numerology, the number 5 is the number of change, freedom, movement, adaptability, and the breaking of rigid structures. It's the number that says what has become too fixed, too controlled, or too managed. Hey, it's time to loosen your grip. There is movement available that you may have been preventing up until now. The 5-5 specifically carries double that energy. So the call to release control on things is going to be much louder during this window. The invitation to move is much more urgent. So the places where you've been holding on past the point of usefulness become more visible for you and are going to become more uncomfortable. That discomfort, though, is not punishment. It's the portal doing its job, which is to make the rigid things now impossible to ignore. So for this year, 2026, the 5-5 portal lands in a month that's already been stacked with significant energy. The Scorpio full moon opened the month of May with emotional truth and deep releases. Mercury is in Taurus, slowing communication into honesty and grounding our thinking in what is actually real rather than what we've been telling ourselves. Pluto stations retrograde on May 6th, which is tomorrow, drawing the power and control themes of collective transformation inward. So it's asking every one of us to look at where we've been operating from fear, dressed as practicality, control dressed as responsibility, or rigidity dressed as stability. And of course, we have Uranus, the planet of revolution and radical change, which is moving through Gemini right now. This is a multi-year transit that's rewriting the way consciousness communicates, connects, and evolves. It's not subtle, and it's certainly not done. So the 5-5 portal this year is landing inside all of that, which means that its effects are amplified, its themes are acute, and the window is genuinely significant for all of us. So how long is this portal going to be open? Well, portal energy doesn't operate like a light switch, where it turns on at midnight and off at the following midnight. It actually builds and disperses in a wave pattern. The 5-5 portal begins building typically 2 to 3 days before May 5th. If you've been feeling the restlessness, the urge to shed and release, the sudden clarity about what no longer fits in your life, that's the portal's energy building, and you're already in it. The peak is May 5th, which is today. That is the day of highest charge, highest access, and highest amplification. So whatever intentions you set, whatever releases you make, whatever decisions you move toward on this day, carry the full weight of that portal's energy. The portal begins to disperse over the next 2 to 3 days, reaching its close around May 7th or 8th. The energy doesn't disappear, but it integrates. So what was open during the portal window continues to unfold and settle through the rest of the month, especially in the context of the Taurus new moon on May 16th, which will offer a natural reset point to anchor whatever this portal initiated for you. So the practical window is approximately May 3rd through May 8th, with May 5th today being that axis point. So what does this 5-5 portal want from you, from me, from all of us? Well, the 5-5 energy is movement energy. But before I talk about what we need to do, I want to name what the portal is not asking, because I see a lot of content out there right now that is misframing what this portal is all about. It's not asking you to blow up your life. It's not asking you to make dramatic decisions that you haven't grounded. Not asking you to chase every restless impulse under the premise that the portal made you do it. 5 energy is freedom energy, yes, but freedom exercised wisely, not reactively. What it is asking from us is to look honestly at where you've been managing your outcomes past the point that management is serving you. Where have you been holding something in place through effort and willpower and control because you're afraid of what happens when you let it go? Where have you been staying somewhere, whether that's a relationship, a role, a belief, or any kind of space, not because it's right for you, but because leaving requires tolerating uncertainty? The portal is asking you to be honest about those places, and then to make one intentional move, not necessarily the whole move, not the completion of the whole transition, but one honest step in the direction of what is actually true for you. One step taken from clarity during a portal window has more momentum than 10 steps taken in ordinary time from a place of avoidance. That's the practical value of portal energy. It's not magic, but amplification of what you genuinely choose. So how do we know what's ready to be released? Well, I want to speak to what the collective is carrying into this portal, because what I'm seeing and hearing and sensing in the work that I do is consistent enough to name directly. The first thing that's ready to be released is the performance of certainty. Many of you have been presenting a version of your path, your work, your life that is more settled and decided than what you actually feel. You're not lying exactly, but projecting a confidence and a clarity outward that isn't matching your inner experience. So the portal is asking you to drop that performance, not to broadcast your uncertainty to everyone, but to stop sending energy maintaining the gap between how you actually feel and how you're presenting yourself, because that gap is energetically costing you more than you realize. The second thing ready to be released is the relationship or dynamic that you've been giving the benefit of the doubt past the point that it has earned. Many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. The situation that has been flagging for you for a while. The pattern that's been consistent enough to be a pattern. The thing that you've been calling hope that has started to function more like avoidance. The portal's not telling you to leave necessarily. It's telling you to stop pretending that you don't see what you see. So see it clearly. Then decide from that clarity rather than from the story that you've been telling yourself to keep the peace. The third thing ready to be released is the version of yourself that you've been maintaining for other people's comfort. The edited version, the smaller version, the version that knows instinctively how to take up space in the right amount of space in any given room so that nobody is threatened and nobody leaves. That version of you has served a purpose. It's kept you safe in environments where being fully yourself was genuinely risky. But many of you are no longer in those environments, and that version of you is still running on autopilot, but still at significant cost to you. So the portal is asking, in what spaces are you still editing yourself for an audience that no longer requires it? All right, so now I'm going to drop into channel and bring through what wants to come through for the collective. The question underneath all the restlessness right now is not what do I do next? It is who am I when I stop organizing myself around everyone else's comfort? That question is not new to you. You've circled it before. You've touched the edge of it and pulled back because the answer requires you to disappoint someone or leave something or claim something you haven't been sure you're allowed to claim. And so the energy sits in you unresolved. And the unresolved question costs energy every single day. The energy of keeping it in suspension, of not quite looking at it, of staying busy enough that it doesn't rise to the surface. The portal is making it rise anyway, not to punish you, but to free you. Here's what we want you to understand about this moment. You have already done the preparatory work, the clearing, the processing, the healing, the looking at the things that you didn't want to look at. That work was not done for nothing, and it did not go nowhere. It brought you to exactly this threshold, and the threshold asks for one thing. Will you live from what you know now? Not from what you used to believe, not from the fear that predates the clearing, not from the old story about why you can't or why it isn't safe or why other people need you to stay small. From what you actually know now, in your body, after all of that. Will you live from that? There are those of you who have been waiting for permission, waiting for the moment when enough healing has happened, enough therapy has occurred, enough spiritual work has been done. Enough of some undefined thing that will finally make it okay for you to fully show up as what you are. We want to say this clearly. That moment does not arrive from the outside. The permission is not coming. You are the one who gives it, or it is not given. The portal is a permission structure if you choose to use it that way. Not because the date has magic power that operates on your behalf without your participation, but because something in you is using this window as an excuse to finally say yes to what you've known for a while. Use that excuse. Let the portal be the reason you finally moved if you need a reason. We don't care what reason you use. We only care that you move. This is for the empaths specifically. The ones who feel everything, who have been absorbing the collective's weight along with their own, who are exhausted in a way that goes beyond the physical. This 5-5 portal is a clearing window. What you have absorbed that isn't yours is ready to leave. You do not have to work hard to release it. You only have to stop holding it. Stop holding it on behalf of the people who would not hold it themselves. Stop holding it in service of a version of love that has made you the container for everyone else's unprocessed material. You are not a storage facility. You are a channel, and channels are meant to flow. And for those of you standing at the crossroads, the specific place of, I know I need to go, but I don't know where. I know this needs to end, but I don't know what comes next. I know who I'm not anymore, but I don't know yet who I am. Well, we want to offer you this. The not knowing is not the obstacle. You have made it the obstacle. You have decided that you cannot step forward until the destination is clear, until the new form is visible, until the uncertainty has resolved. But the uncertainty does not resolve from where you are standing. It resolves in the next position, and the next, and then the one after that. You cannot think your way out of a threshold. You simply have to move through it. The portal offers that movement. Take the one step you actually know, just the one, and trust that the next becomes visible from there. You have been more ready than you have allowed yourself to believe. That is the transmission. That is what the collective most needs to hear right now. You are more ready than you think. Okay, so now I want to share some practical ways that you can work with this portal. Here's what I recommend doing between now and May 8th to actively work with this portal energy. On May 5th, which is today, set your intention. Don't make a wish list, but an honest statement of one thing that you're choosing to move toward during this window. Write it down, say it out loud, make it specific enough that you will know whether you've done it. Release something consciously, physically if possible. Burn a piece of paper with what you're releasing that you wrote on it, or put your feet on the earth and let the ground receive it, or use whatever practice resonates with your tradition and your body. The point is to make the release a conscious act rather than something that happens to you. Portal energy amplifies what you choose, so choose consciously. Give yourself permission in writing. Write the thing that you've been waiting for someone else to say, that it's going to be okay to do or be. Write something like, I give myself permission to ... and complete it honestly. Keep it. Read it again on May 8th. Now go move your body. 5 energy is movement energy. It needs a physical expression. Dance, walk, shake your body out, go swimming, whatever is yours, whatever you enjoy, but move. Let the body participate in what the energy is asking to do. Limit your input and increase your output. During portal windows, the thing to do is to generate, decide, create, release, express, but not to consume. The week of May 5th is not the week to fill yourself with more content, more information, more of other people's transmissions. It's a week to act on what you already know. So what comes after the portal? Well, the Taurus new moon on May 16th is the natural anchor point for whatever this portal initiates. What you move toward in this window, whether that's the intention you set, the release you make, or the step that you take in the direction of what you know, the new moon is when you plant it properly. Give it roots, make it structural. The new moon in Taurus asks, how do I build this in a way that will last? The Uranus cazimi in Gemini on May 22nd is going to bring another significant surge for you. A day of unexpected liberation, breakthrough communication, and sudden clarity about your future direction. With the portal opened and the new moon roots into place, the cazimi may illuminate. Then May 25th through the 27th brings a Mars-Pluto square. This is a time of intensity, potential friction, a window to lay lower and avoid unnecessary confrontation. This is not the time for major moves. It's the time to hold what you've built and let it consolidate. The rest of May is integration. What was integrated in this portal window will continue to unfold for you. Trust the pace. The unseeing is not a reversal. It's the work going underground to take root for you. The 5-5 portal is asking one thing from you: honesty. An honest assessment of where you've been too rigid, too controlled, too much in management mode. An honest acknowledgement of what you already know but you haven't acted on. And honest permission from yourself to move. You don't have to do this all at once. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to see the whole path. You just have to take one step that you can see from where you are, and trust that the next will become visible from there. If you want support doing this work, if you want to look at what you're carrying in the Akashic records, or clear something from your energy field, or get specific about what this portal is activating in your personal energy, I'm here for you. All of my links are in the description. You can find ways to work with me. I'll put them all in there for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the work. The collective feels it when you do. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.